Yeah. Dish gods.
What up, world? It's a new day, new week. How's everybody doing? You good?
I'm good.
Yeah, we are Sans Little Bear today. He is taking a vacation, so we are having a staycation, and we are recording the podcast.
A vacation? Is that what they call it these days?
I guess so. I mean, he's away, not working, doing nothing. I think that's vacation, right?
I don't know. I saw him come to work and order a sandwich.
Oh my god. He can't leave it. He just can't leave it alone. Well, you know, maybe that's his version of a vacation.
It's just being...
He's just being at work but not working.
But watching us work.
Watching us work. That's how he does. So, yeah, let's just introduce the show. So, I'm Max, and joined, as always, by...
Lucas Sheffield.
Yeah.
Not as always.
No, as always. This is the show now. This is the show forever, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
By coming on, you've signed a verbal contract. That
Okay,
says,
this is the show now.
Yeah, this is the show now. This is Dish Gods.
I'm the co-host.
Yeah, we're here
Welcome to Dish Gods. This is the podcast about nothing.
No, it's about everything and anything. Well, we dish on anything and everything.
Oh, yeah, we dish.
Yeah, we
This
are
is the dish thing.
Yeah, we are the best podcast you have never heard. So we're actually on episode 38 right now. We're currently recording that. We are pretty high up there. We are
so high,
as they say in the stoner culture. So we have a lot of stuff to talk about, but we're gonna kind of start off with Song of the Week. It's a bit that we've been doing. I've introduced Luca to it, and so you people may or may not know, but we try to have like a thematic element to the Song of the Week, something that ties both songs together. So this week we thought it'd be fun if we just try to play each other's songs that we thought the other person would hate or just not enjoy, right?
Yeah, it's stuff that we personally feel very strongly about and love, but we think that the other person might not appreciate in the same way or something.
Yeah. And so we did that. It was a fun little experiment. Let's talk about your song first.
Well, my song was a big surprise because I played it and you just loved it and grooved out the whole time.
Well, yeah, but what was it?
It was
It was an Aphex Twin song.
It's an Aphex Twin song. It's one of those songs that has a nonsense name that is
it starts with a V. It's got some other letters in there.
Vordhosben.
Okay, that's close enough. Vordhosben. Yeah, no, I actually really dug it. You didn't know that I listened to Aphex Twin in my spare time.
No, I didn't know that about you.
Yeah, no,
We're still getting to know each other.
Yeah, I know. Even after all this time.
Yeah,
still learning new things.
Always.
It's beautiful.
Every day.
It's beautiful.
What a wonderful journey it's been.
I know, really. But no, I really liked that Aphex Twin track. I like a lot of Aphex Twin. I like a lot of experimental stuff.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Let's hear the track really quick. Can we play a snippet?
Maybe. So if you hear...
If we do play a snippet, it's going to go right...
Here. And if nothing happened, that means that we decided not to put it in and edit it.
Because Max is lazy.
I'm not lazy. I'm just not getting cash for this. If you give me money, I will put it in.
I'll give you money.
Okay. We'll discuss that later. So, no, I like Aphex Twin. The song was great. You were surprised that I liked it. But, no, I dig that kind of shit. Drill and bass. I live for that. That's my jam.
Yeah, that's some real hard shit from the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Some real hardcore. It's so hard that they couldn't even call it drum and bass.
Yeah, they call it drill and bass. They'd invent a whole new thing because of how dope that fucking track was.
And at the same time, it has that beautiful just pretty melody just happening on top of all of that chaos.
Yeah, no, it really did a good job of separating itself, but the drums were continually interesting throughout, so it never really got boring. It was very restless.
Yeah, he is unparalleled as a drum pattern writer.
Yeah. Well, just as anything, really. Aphex Twin is a god in many senses of
He's
the
my
way.
god.
Yeah, I agree. So that's your song. Let's talk about mine, which I think has a little bit more.
Yeah, your song was more divisive, I would say.
Yeah. So I played you Avalon by Sully Erna off of his off of his album of the same name, I should say, Avalon. And I personally really love that album. That was a very landmark album for me because it was very tribal. And you, as you may or may not know, apparently you know nothing about me, I have a deep-rooted love for tribal music. I spend a lot of time with the tribal community, and I have a lot of connection to that kind of stuff. So
what was your old band called?
Oh, yeah. So those of you who may or may not know, I'm working on, actually, no, I'm, okay. I guess I'm in for a penny and for a pound. So I was in a band called Neo Tribal back in my days in Arizona as a young lad. We were like a poetry drum band. There's some footage of us on YouTube. If you just search Neo Tribal, you can see me playing drums. It's actually really good. We had
terrible.
Andrew Ecker was our poet.
So bad.
Great dude. I doubt he's listening, but he's a good guy. You should look him up. He's cool. Yeah, Neo Tribal was my old band, and yeah, I just hung out with all the hippies and like dudes from fucking like South Africa and Uganda and Cuba. Met some really great people through that, and so I have like a lot of love for the tribal community, and this album plays into that.
What did you learn from conversing with such foreign peoples?
Nothing but wisdom, really. They all passed down a lot. I met
nothing but wisdom.
Yeah, no, there's something that about living that kind of lifestyle and meeting those people. I feel like after a while, you sort of just start to elevate. There's one guy I met, Pandisa, who he was a really good conga player, and he was into teaching people how to talk to trees. That was really cool.
Okay.
So I never really got like many personal lessons from him on that. I wish I had. No, they're like I met like fire dancers and Dashmesh. He was like a DJ / didgeridoo player. He like did a mix of Didge and DJing.
Mix of Didge and Do.
Yeah, Didge and Do. And that was really cool. Yeah, no, I learned a lot of good things.
It's a hot mix.
It's a hot, slappy mix.
Sloppy mix.
Yeah, but how did you feel about the song that I played you?
I have a hard time dealing with like ethnic sounding stuff.
Whoa, buddy. It's 2017. You can't use that word, all right?
Is that a bad word? I'm
not sure what's a bad word anymore. I feel like ethnic is like considered a bad word. Like,
well, I just mean like,
foreign.
Not
American.
Not like typical of Western style music.
Okay. Well, you got to expand your horizons, bruh.
Well, it's not. Yeah, that's true. I do, but like, when I hear that stuff, I feel like it kind of distracts me from the songwriting itself because it makes me think of a place, and perhaps a time or something.
Ooh, that's so terrible. Whenever I'm listening to music, I hate thinking of places and times. I want to be like just in the moment, just listening to songs, not thinking of anything else.
To a certain degree, you want it to be like relatable. You want it to be like interpretable in many different ways.
Yeah.
Which that still. I'm not saying that like defeats that, but like it already provides you with like a setting at least.
I think you're focusing too heavy though on like the quote unquote ethnic aspect of it, and you're.
Well, I'm leading into what I'm about to say though.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to say though.
You can't curse on the show. Can't curse on the show.
Cunt.
Okay, what are you saying?
Don't cut this.
I'm not cutting any of it. Come on. What are you getting to?
No, cut all of this. No. Okay. What I'm trying to say is that this song was actually pretty good, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. And that's sort of part of was listening to that song that taught me a lot about ethnic peoples and a lot about myself. About like India.
Yeah, most of them were South American and African.
Whatever. I don't give a shit. It taught me about India
somehow, some way. If you want to learn about India, you should look at Coldplay. I don't know if you've like looked at any of their new shit, but they're like super hardcore, like in like fucking.
They're super hardcore now.
No, but they're just like There's a while back where they were like doing some Chinese shit or Japanese or something, and then now everything is like Middle Eastern themed, and it's the weirdest kind. It's like all Bollywood shit, and it's the weirdest thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, so I really like those like scales or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like the
modes,
those Middle Eastern, like that kind of those notes together. Like
it's called a mode.
Whatever, dude. Those work really well for me.
Yeah.
But like as I mentioned before, like just the whole connotation of like specific groups of people or whatever like that. Like I just don't like. I just want to be reminded of that when I'm trying to be taken away to a beautiful musical place.
I just want to think of white people.
And it's just because I love to me music is all about stuff that's just like totally unknown weird shit,
Mm-hmm.
which in a way is sort of why I started to appreciate the song.
Okay.
Because I'm as I listened to it, I started to feel like there's even though there's a specific thing attached to that kind of sound, I'm still able to draw other things from it and just have that be like kind of an element in the mix.
Yeah.
And have it be like it was a good song. It was very melodic and but driving at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciated it more than I thought I would.
I don't know. Would you listen to the whole album based on that song?
No, definitely not.
Would you listen to that song again?
I don't think so. But
so you wouldn't go on Apple Music right now and like look up that?
If you played it again in the car, I'd be like, oh yeah, it's cool.
Okay, right on. Cool. Well, that's song of the week. Let's talk about Spider-Man. We just saw Spider-Man. Let's talk about that. We saw Spider-Man a fortnight ago.
Spider-Man.
Okay, we're gonna get hit for copyright.
Does the stuff that a spider does.
That's wrong. So, are you a big Spider-Man fan?
I am not a big Spider-Man fan.
Do you not like him, or do you just not care?
I don't care. I mean,
okay.
So I mean,
podcast is over. Our friendship is dissolved.
I'm more of like a. This makes you sound like the worst person ever, but I'm more of like an anime person, I guess. Like when it comes to like that kind of shit.
What kind
like,
of anime or what anime?
We're not talking about that.
No, we are. We're opening this can of worms now. If you're my friend and you like anime, I got to know what anime you're looking at. So no, it's not that.
Hey, we're talking about Spider-Man.
Weird shit. There's anime Spider-Man, but
there is anime Spider-Man. There's actually a really interesting Japanese Spider-Man.
Dude, is that the one where he like wraps his hands in like gauze?
I think so.
Because my dad had that book when I was growing up, and I have not been able to find it since.
I think what I'm talking about is a show, though.
Oh,
it's a Japanese Spider-Man show.
Okay.
That is completely like off the wall and Japanese, and it's look it up.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun.
So, what anime do you watch?
I actually don't really watch like much anime ever.
What anime have you watched? Anything good that comes to mind?
Cowboy Bebop will always be pretty much like the best.
Well, you and I have a big mutual love for Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z, I mean, like, judges an anime, like, if you just like step back and look at it, like compared to like, anything else in the whole world, it's pretty shitty, really. But
Excuse me?
It fills an important role for a 10-year-old, growing up. Like,
what role is that?
I don't know, like some sort of like power fulfillment thing or something.
Like the machismo, I think, is like a young boy, especially.
Yeah.
You need to have that kind of thing to look at, because like my dad was a weakling, if anything. And so to be able to look to these hulking monsters.
You look down on your father as a weakling?
Oh, yeah. Well, he listens to the show. So I use this as like an opportunity to talk about him.
And to just talk shit about your dad.
Not talk shit, but just like I can't.
Hi, Max's dad.
Yeah, I can't actually like say these things to him. You know what I mean? In a constructive way. So I just like say it on the podcast so he knows, but then we never discuss it.
He'll just never bring it up.
It's the healthiest form of communication, I find. This is how I communicate to a lot of people.
I like your podcast, but it's kind of weird when you said I was stupid that time.
Oh, no. Well, I don't know if you listened to the show, but we had 2 full episodes with my dad in the room.
Oh, yeah, huh?
Yeah, when he came to visit.
I don't listen to the show.
Oh.
I have better things to do with my time.
Like watch Cowboy fucking Bebop.
Yeah. That show's great.
But Dragon Ball Z,
so great.
I think Dragon Ball Z is like an important thing because it teaches you a lot about responsibility.
Yeah.
It teaches you a lot about respecting others.
Mm-hmm.
It teaches you a lot about sex ed. And like, don't do drugs. all like the important
Yeah.
shit.
How to Fly Around.
But no, and then
Sensu Beans.
Senzu beans. Just senzu beans. No other.
Everybody needs to know about
Yeah.
that.
For me, one of the best anime is Boondocks. The Boondocks.
I've never seen that.
You've never seen the fucking Boondocks, dude?
I thought that was an Adult Swim show. Was
It's
that
an Adult
Japanese?
Swim, but it's in the style of anime. I consider it
Okay.
anime.
Okay.
Anime purists might call me wrong, but you know what? They can go
I
fuck
don't give a,
themselves.
I don't care about that.
And then I actually took a leap, and you know, I really haven't done the anime thing for probably over 10 years at this point. But I took a leap because it came highly recommended by multitudes of people to me. One Punch Man. Actually, really dope.
Yeah, I saw like the first episode of that. I loved it
And why didn't you watch the rest?
because I just prefer to like be making music or playing video games or something. So
Okay.
I don't actually watch stuff that much. But yeah, that seemed really cool.
So you make music, huh?
Shut up.
We won't even go down the road. But yeah, so let's talk about Spider-Man. So, yeah, what did you think of the movie, I guess?
Yeah. So okay. So
As a non-Spider-Man fan.
Okay. Returning to what you were saying, I'm really not into comic book stuff typically.
Mhm.
You know, I'm growing to appreciate it. You know, as time goes on and stuff because all my friends and you know, my partner loves this shit. So
Okay.
I'm exposed to way more of it. But like, this was far and away like the most engaging, entertaining as an outsider. Like you know,
Yeah.
superhero thing that I've seen. I've watched like cartoons and stuff. You know, it's all you know snooze fest for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a solid fucking movie.
Have you seen any of the other Spider-Man movies?
I saw the Tobey Maguire one when I was like 11 or something.
Tubby Maguire.
That's his name, right?
Tubby McGee, whatever his fucking name is. Yeah.
He's the Home Alone kid, right?
Tubby Mac, yeah. Yeah, Tubby Mac.
No, that's Macaulay Culkin.
That's the dumbest fucking name I've
I know.
ever heard
It's like
anybody
a
make up.
nonsense like.
It's just somebody saying vowels, really. Macaulay Culkin. No, so what did you think of the Tobey Maguire movie?
I remember like kind of. I was sort of same. I was even more like aggressively against that kind of shit.
Okay.
This kind of shit back then, but I came away from being like, yeah, that was cool. It was okay.
But then you never saw it in the other ones.
I never saw any other ones. They all looked really stupid and stuff. I don't know why we go and see movies anyway, so
Yeah.
it was easy to avoid. But yeah, I mean, I was dragged to this one, and
You
I,
were
but
dragged, Jesus
I mean,
Christ.
I heard good things, so I
Yeah.
was expecting to not be totally wasting my time, and it ended up being an incredible use of my time because it was fucking awesome.
Yeah, no, it was really, really cool. I am like a diehard religious Spider-Man fan. Since like birth, I bleed, come, eat, sheet, and piss Spider-Man.
That's disgusting.
And this movie, I mean, say what you will about all the other movies, but I'm usually just like so happy that there's like a Spider-Man movie that I usually don't really give too much of a shit about what's happening.
Let me ask you this, because I'm
Okay.
curious. Like, what is it that has made you love Spider-Man?
He's just a real person.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, the reason that I don't gravitate towards like Batman or Superman or like, I don't know, there's a lot of heroes that I don't like relate to. I don't really actually like a lot of superheroes. Like I'm not, growing up I read a lot of comics, but that was just because like I didn't really have much else. Like I didn't want to read anything else, so I just read comics. But I didn't really get
You
anything.
needed the pictures.
Well, yeah, but it's like, I would read like Avengers and then fucking like I fucking hate Captain America. Captain America's there and Hawkeye's there, and like I don't give a shit about these
Captain
people.
America was fucking great in the Spider-Man movie. By the way.
Okay, in the Spider-Man movie, he's great because he's just being funny. But like when he's doing action, all he's doing around is throwing out a giant fucking frisbee, and it's bullshit. And Captain America deserves to die. Okay, but
Whoa,
but
hey.
the thing that I like about Spider-Man is that he's a real dude. You know what I mean? And I relate to his character because he was like a nerd in high school, and people like bullied him and beat him up. And
he is definitely the most relatable.
yeah, and then
superhero
like,
character for
and then
me.
like everybody else is like fucking Iron Man is a billionaire. You know what I mean? Captain America is like a super soldier, but Peter Parker is like, man, I had to go save the world, and then I still got to study for my calculus test. I relate to that kind of feeling of like, man, I got to go do this thing, and then even though I do this giant thing, I have to go and like pay my car bill. It's just like no matter what, there's always something else, and he deals with real world situations. Like everything with Spider-Man is not life and death.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes it's like, man, I really got to go and stop that purse snatcher, and it's like he just wants to stop it.
Yeah.
And I just relate to it because he's a fucking person. He's not like Superman where he's a god, or Tony Stark where he's a billionaire, or Bruce Wayne where he's a billionaire. It's like he's just like a dude, and they tell human stories through Spider-Man, and I've always appreciated that.
It makes it so much more relatable and like
and enjoyable.
I can actually connect with it, and I don't feel like I'm watching like a bunch of like figurines fighting each other or something.
And it's easier to get invested into the story.
Yeah,
because you can put yourself
actually,
in his Spidey shoes.
Yeah, it was such a fun movie, and then like when it gets fucking serious and things like become dire, I actually care.
Yeah,
because I was having such a fun time the whole time with these characters.
And it's like no,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, like we won't talk spoilers, but damn, like that was the most. As like somebody who's read a lot of Spider-Man and like I like to consider myself familiar with the tone and everything, that was the most Spider-Man shit I've ever really seen in my life. Yeah. And
I'm happy for you and for all Spider-Man fans that this seemed to deliver on the tone of what Spider-Man is supposed to be.
I did think it was a weird, like, not story choice, but just like general character choice to call him Penis Parker. That was
a little strange.
That was like distracting to me the whole movie. That he was they changed his name to Penis, and then I thought it was weird that like he didn't want to go to the party.
They seem to accidentally to call him Peter sometimes,
Well,
but
the words sound familiar, like similar. So it's like Penis Peter.
They seem to leave in the takes where they called him Peter, but it was clearly an accident.
I think that's like when people were like bullying him, like, "Oh hey Peter." And then, like, his buddy Ned.
My name's Penis, okay?
Yeah, and then Ned's like, hey, Penis, come on, it's okay. And then, like, I thought it was weird when they were at the party and Flash was doing that nice thing where he's like, when I say Penis, you say Parker, Penis Parker. And it's like, look, they're chanting your name. And he's like, I don't want to go because he's so embarrassed. I thought that was weird.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He was just taken aback by how much appreciation they had for him at that moment.
Was going out to Penis Parker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. And then the other weird thing that I had, like, not like a beef with, but it just was also distracting.
A beef with?
Yeah. Like, was that the Vulture, like, the whole movie, they gave him the catchphrase, hot dog? And that was the most, that seemed to me like the most left choice. Because at one point, like...
Wait, what?
Yeah, he was saying hot dogs through the whole movie.
I don't remember that.
Okay, there's the scene where they're like, he's in the warehouse, right? And the fat boy was like, look, I've got this thing. And then he just goes, hot dogs. And then he's saying it for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, he did say hot dog like once.
He said it like
I think he might have said
times.
it one time.
He said it like 100 times. I swear.
Maybe twice. But that's a big maybe.
We'll have to watch it again. We'll go tomorrow and we'll watch it again and we'll count how many times he says hot dog. Because I'm sure it's more than once. I would bet my fucking left arm on that.
I think he was opening a crate and he was like, hot dog.
Yeah, and then that's his catchphrase. That automatically becomes his catchphrase.
Can I just say that I love how the villain in this movie is just like somebody's dad?
Is a dad, yeah. That's a very Spider-Man thing to do, though.
Yeah.
Is like his villains aren't evil world-threatening robots or like aliens from outer space. I mean, like they are sometimes, but like 9 times out of 10, they're just like dudes. Like my favorite Spider-Man villain is a guy named Mysterio, and Mysterio is a special effects like design prop guy
shit.
Like he's so funny. He needs to be in the Marvel movies. He would be perfect. Like just his tone. And he's got the humor, and he's very like melodramatic. And he's like, "I'm Mysterio. I've come to like kill you all." And there's all this smoke and lights, and everybody thinks they're dying. And then Spider-Man shows up, and he kicks his ass because Mysterio can't actually do anything. He wears like this weird green suit. He's got a cape, and he's got like a glass bubble helmet, so you can't see his face. So he'll be like, there will be smoke everywhere, and he's like, "You're gonna die." And then Spider-Man comes over and just kicks him in the nuts, and Mysterio goes down, and all the smoke fades, and everybody's like, "Oh." Nothing's actually happening. That
sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And that's like, so much of what I loved about this was that it was actually just really fucking funny. Like, all the way through. It was, just like moment to moment was full of like stuff to find like charming and amusing.
Yeah.
In lots of different ways. It was just bursting with personality and just good jokes.
Yeah. No, all in all, it was very solid. This is like easily my favorite Marvel movie. Might be one of my favorite movies just in general.
Wow. Yeah, I kind of like want to rate it with. I mean, like Ferris Bueller actually came up in the movie.
Yeah. No, yeah, I
But
remember.
that's-
I turned to you and I was like, because he was
Yeah.
like running through all the backyards, and I was like,
you
they're
called it
ripping off
so hard, and they
Ferris
just,
Bueller,
they
and
just
the very
delivered
next shot,
right there.
the very next shot was
was
that
pretty
exact
crazy.
scene, and that was amazing. And then they did it again at the end credit scene with Cap.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was cool that they actually
and-
paid
and-
homage to it.
Yeah, and to me that's like sort of an apt comparison because it's like it felt like a classic fun movie in
Yeah.
the same way as that kind of movie.
It's the kind of movie that I would definitely like have like a thing of like, you know, you watch Ferris Bueller like a couple times throughout your life because it's just that kind of movie that you could revisit.
Yeah.
And this movie feels like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Where I could like come back to it even within this year. I could come back to it and still come away with something else.
Yeah.
It would be a different emotional experience because I would be a different person.
Yeah.
And it's the kind of movie that you can grow with.
Yeah, it has a surprising amount of depth for what it is.
I know.
They did a really fucking good job.
I know.
It's a great movie.
Are you looking forward to the next Spider-Man standalone?
I am. Like everything. I mean, like they didn't go like too stupidly far with like leaving it unresolved to set up
Yeah.
the next one or shit like that. But all the stuff they teased at and the final shot even.
What was the final shot?
You don't remember that?
I remember the suit, but then like, what was the final shot?
Just Aunt May.
Oh yeah, Aunt May sees him dressed
he's
up
like,
as,
what the fuck?
Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, no, and that's the thing that I liked is that I have such an issue with cliffhangers right now, and the fact that this movie didn't end on some big like,
Yeah.
Peter discovers the
absolutely.
symbiote, or he's like,
God damn.
here comes something.
I'm
It was
so
such a
fucking
funny,
glad there wasn't some.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so as an outsider, what is with these movies' fucking fascination with weird science fiction stuff and computer
Okay, so-
overlays and like because this movie was great, but it still had that too, where it's
the
like
holograms
and just like crazy computer shit. I didn't know
Yeah.
superhero stuff was so full of holograms.
Well, it's super funny to me is that like Tony Stark and like the Avengers, they all have holograms, and the rest of the world is using fucking like iPhone 4s and shit. Like it's really funny to me that like he's like I've
Yeah,
got this
and that's-
technology, and then like he's all about changing the world and do like making it better. And then like there's a scene in I think the first Iron Man movie where he has a 3D model of his suit, and he's taking it like the hologram, and he's taking the hologram apart and like seeing how things could work. It's like,
Yeah.
could you imagine if you gave that to like a doctor and let the doctor kind of do like not invasive surgery, but you put a camera in the 3D
Yeah.
hologram, he could you could get that to a medical school, they could understand the body better.
I would hope that it's just like it's just not shown that like that they have access
No,
to that
he
technology.
doesn't. All he
he
uses out in
keeps that to
public.
himself. That's
No,
like
yeah, but no. So basically, the deal
what
right
a
now,
fucking asshole.
the deal in the Marvel universe is that it's all building up to the next Avengers movie, which comes out next May, I think.
Is this like the third one?
This is the third one, but this
Okay.
is like the big one because this is where a lot of the old heroes, I believe, are going to die because their contracts are up, like the actors'
Oh.
contracts. So I think like Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, these guys are going to like die in this movie. So, but basically, this movie's building up. This guy's been teased since like
People should. Well, okay, maybe this is a controversial opinion.
Okay.
but again, as an outsider, people should not die in these movies. Let them continue to live. Why should any of these characters die?
because it's an emotional arc. of sorts.
It's cheap though. You know.
I don't think it's cheap. I think if anything, I think it's more daring.
who
if you-
wants Iron Man to die?
That's what I'm saying. I think like as a blockbuster movie series, I think it's more controversial and experimental to be like, hey, Robert Downey Jr., one of the most popular actors on the planet, fuck you. You're dead. And as long as it services the story, I think it's good.
That's not experimental. That's stupid.
It's not stupid. It's taking a beloved person that it makes easy money and tossing to the side to make room for a new story.
Yeah. Okay. I guess he's run his course. I haven't seen that many of these movies. You know. I mean, to me, he's like a fresh character. I just saw this movie, and it's like, wow, that's cool.
Yeah, so we should. Well, here's what we'll do. We'll go through. We'll watch all of the Marvel movies that have been released
Oh god.
until Avengers comes out.
Only if I can be playing video games while we're doing that.
You can play solitaire while we do it.
Wipeout.
How about
Wipeout doesn't require me to actually be thinking or engage with the story or anything, so I can just be like watching that, kinda, while I'm like getting better times on my racetracks.
what's Wipeout?
That's that futuristic racing game that's like the dopest.
You know what the best racing game is? Well, okay, there's two. One is Jack X from the Jack and Daxter series, and then the other one is Burnout.
Okay, hold on. Jack X.
Mm-hmm.
Is this like a spin-off of Jack and Dexter?
Yeah, it's a racing
and
game.
it's okay. Is this like cashing in on like the whole Mario Kart style like
Little
kart
bit.
racing thing?
A little bit. It's a kart racer, but it's a good one.
It's a kart racer.
Yeah. And then Burnout. Have you ever played Burnout at all?
Burnout's great. Yeah.
Burnout's the best racing game ever.
One of the very best racing games ever is Burnout Paradise.
Mm-hmm.
You played that?
Burnout Revenge was really good too.
I didn't play that one, but Burnout Paradise was one of the finest constructions.
You know what one of the best Burnout games is though? Like for real? The very first Burnout game. I don't know if you played that one, but that one was a marvel. Pun intended.
I didn't spend a lot of time with that one.
Yeah, that one sucked. I was just being facetious. I was hoping that you had played it as well, so you could be like, because you could remember the fucking box cars and.
All I know about those games is they had, what did they have for the loading screen? Like Space Invaders or something?
No, they didn't. It wasn't. It was just like a fucking static image.
What? What didn't one of those games?
Maybe one of them, but not the first one.
Okay.
I remember I picked up the first one like a while back, being like, "Oh, this might be fun." I think I was in town, and my sister is big into video games, and she has my old PS2, so I like picked it up as like a present for us to like play together, and that was a mistake. That game blew chunks,
big chunks.
Well, I think we should wrap it up.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Think we've run our course?
I think we've ran our course.
Yeah.
Well, this has been our show, Dish Gods. Thank you so much for listening. I know it's a short episode, but with Little Bear out of the picture now, it's
Little Bear's dead.
Little Bear is gone. He's gone to a better place.
Rest in peace, Little Bear.
So yeah, we're gonna be doing shorter.
I miss you,
episodes.
Little Bear.
We'll drink in his honor tonight.
I miss him at work today.
Yeah, he doesn't work today usually.
Yeah, that's true, huh?
But thank you so much for listening.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
That was the day that I missed him.
Okay.
Cut this.
No. We appreciate you listening to our show. Thank you for your time. We hope you enjoyed this nonsensical episode of Dish Gods. We kept it real lean this episode. Not a lot, but enough for you to get by, I think. If you're interested in talking to us, you can hit us up at dishgodshow@gmail.com, or you can hit us up at Twitter @dishgods, facebook.com/dishgods. We're also on YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play.
Stitcher?
And YouTube, yeah. Stitcher's a podcast, not network, but a podcast hosting site.
Never heard of that one.
Mm-hmm. Well, you should find us on Stitcher. Please.
Snitcher.
Stitcher.
Stitcher. Okay, that's what I thought you said.
I'm going to have to stitch your face together after I bust it open. If you interrupt me one more time.
Max abuses me.
So thank you for listening. Please like, share, and rate if you like the show. Tell your friends or send us some hate mail. We would love to interact with you guys. So thank you for your time and for listening.
And don't forget, Fistful Rivers.
Oh, you're going to plug our band? Okay. Yeah, plug our band. All right. Yeah, if you've got something to plug. How about you give me a plug, and then I'll put it in earlier in the episode, because nobody listens to the end.
Okay.
So, plug. Say it.
fistfulrivers.bandcamp.com.
Good job. That's where you can find our music.
Is the site, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Cool. So thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next week.
Next week.
Keep it sleazy.